Hello yogis, and welcome to our Wednesday Connect Restorative class. This class is focused on spring and renewal. One of my most popular previous videos was a restorative practice for New Year's. And so I thought, what a great thing to follow that up with than another restorative practice for springtime. And then we'll do another one for summer, we'll do another one for fall, and then we'll come back around for the new year and winter time. So it's really great to have you here. My name is Jill Entignap, the founder and lead trainer at Yogi Institute, an online yoga school and studio. For today's practice, you'll need a blanket or a towel, a bolster, or a firm pillow, or even another blanket that you can fold up. And I recommend some blocks. And if you don't have blocks, you can always use books or shoe boxes or Tupperware containers, or even another rolled up blanket or a small pillow. So anything that helps to support the body. That's really what restorative practice is all about. It's about supporting the body into relaxation. So we're going to start today's practice on our stomachs. So take your blanket and drape it across your mat, kind of in the mid area, in the midsection, so that that blanket can support your pelvic bone, your hips, that midsection of the body. Turning yourself over, and there's options here to either use a block to place it underneath the head, or what I prefer to do is to stack the palms on top of one another and then let the forehead rest on the backs of the hands. And I encourage you here to close down your eyes and start to draw your awareness inward. Take a moment to acknowledge the different connection points of your body to the floor. Maybe noticing the elbows, the chest, the hips, the tops of the feet. And just really allowing yourself to sink and settle into this space to give yourself the gift of the next 30 minutes of intentional relaxation. Let's start to become aware of the breath and feel the inhale expand and the exhale release. And the inhale expand. And the exhale release. Really surrendering that exhale into the floor and feeling the body relax into the shape. Let's connect with our theme for today, spring, renewal. To me, spring is about freshness. It's about new beginnings. It's about welcoming in new energy. But it's also about change and really embracing change. The change that naturally occurs, that harmoniously occurs in nature. Nature reminds us that change can be gentle, that change can be welcome, that change can be natural. What if we could take on that same belief that change doesn't happen from one day to the next? That change is a process. And it can be a beautiful process, even if it's painful. Let's let our right temple come down and bend into the right knee, bringing it out to the right and letting the inside edge of the right foot rest into the mat or preferably the blanket. So we're starting to open up through the right hip flexors. See if you can find a position in this shape that you can sustain, that you can maintain for a period of time. Let's come back to our breath. And whatever you're feeling through that hip, see if you can notice the connection between the breath and the sensation. Where I live in Texas, the wildflowers are really, really beautiful. They're in the ditches, they're in the fields, and once they start to pop up, it's just amazing in the springtime. It's so beautiful. You'll see fields of purple or orange. And I think about that change. And sometimes I like to think about change as a flower that's blossoming. And how the flower doesn't have to try to blossom, it just does. What if we could view change in that way, more like nature? Not trying to force things, force outcomes, but just allowing. Making choices in alignment with the changes that we desire. But maybe not being so regimented, so attached to it. Allowing the change to blossom into our life. Let's bring the head back through center. Rest it on the backs of the hands. Take that right foot, send it out behind you. Press the heel back. Toes are pressing into the floor. We're engaging that leg. And then let's bend into the knee. Take a moment to roll out the ankle. And then shift the foot from side to side. And we'll switch it out, sending that right foot long. Bending into the left knee, out to the left, letting the inside edge of the foot come down. And gazing to the right. Switching it out. Take a few rounds of deep breath. And I'd like to invite you to reflect on if there is any natural changes occurring in your life. Changes that you didn't really make, that you didn't consciously choose, but that are happening. Maybe even changes that are natural. I think as we age, change naturally happens. As we grow, change naturally happens as we progress and expand. And sometimes we perseverate, we really focus on the change that we want. And we miss the change that's naturally occurring. That may be very beneficial. Maybe a promotion, a new job. Maybe it's watching your children grow. Maybe it's a change or a deeper connection between you and your spirituality. Maybe it's a change in your heart. More acceptance. More surrender. So I encourage you to take a moment here on your mats to reflect on changes that are occurring, maybe without your intention. Let's take 2 more deep breaths here. Bring your head back through center. Send that left foot out behind you. Press your toes into the mat. Press the heel back. Create some engagement there. Let the knee come down. Lift the foot up. Roll out that ankle. And then shift from side to side. And send that foot out long. Hands come underneath your shoulders. Press yourself up. For this next posture, we're going to come into a supported child's pose. So I recommend that you keep your blanket where it is, and then grab a block and place it underneath your bottom, and grab your bolster and place it underneath your chest. So place that block kind of behind you so that you can feel that support underneath you. And then I like to have the bolster kind of in between the knees. And you can decide how far apart you want your knees to be. For me, the distance of the bolster is almost the perfect distance, maybe a little bit wider for me. And then start to walk the body forward. And once again, you can stack the palms on top of one another and allow the forehead to rest into the hands. Elbows are wide. Close down your eyes and allow yourself to feel the support of the bolster beneath you. Maybe your hips are more hovering off of that block. Just really allow yourself to be here. And to really start to feel the breath coming in and going out. And coming in. And going out. Now I invite you to connect to the newness that you would like to invite in. The newness that you would like to invite in. Maybe you would like to invite in new connections. And new connections doesn't necessarily mean new people. You can connect to the people that you love in a new way. Maybe you would like to invite in new opportunities. Maybe you would like to invite in abundance. Maybe you would like to invite in growth. Let's get really specific here as to what you would like to invite in, what we would like to create with this new spring energy. And let's bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Press the body up. Let's remove that block from beneath our bottom. You can just take both blocks and place them off to the side. And let's turn ourselves around and find our supported fish pose. So the first couple postures were kind of that closed internal reflection. Now the next couple postures are going to be really opening and expansive, really inviting us to connect to that newness. So taking the bolster right behind the base of the tailbone and allow yourself to lie back. Finding that support behind you, and maybe you want to reach your arms up overhead, allowing the shoulders to really fall away from the ears, away from the chest. Maybe it feels better for you to have your hands, down by your side. Maybe it feels better to have them resting on your person. Just looking for what feels good and right for you. I recommend that you tilt the chin up toward the ceiling, opening up through the throat. Keeping this really open chest, open throat. Close down your eyes and really draw inward. Now, when it comes to inviting in the new, sometimes we have to get out of our own way. Sometimes we have to get out of our own way. Sometimes we are what's blocking this new experience from occurring. And so I invite you to connect to that which you want to invite in, that which you want to create with this new spring energy, and get honest with yourself, asking and reflecting on, is there anything that I can do to support this invitation? Is there anything that I am doing to stop this from coming into my life, my experience? Flip your palms, palm facing down. Press the upper body up. So what awareness came to you through that? How are you getting in your own way? It's okay. Know that it's okay. Sometimes our belief system is what creates our reality. And so what you're experiencing or what you're wanting to experience, the interesting thing is that what you're wanting to experience is what you're not experiencing. And so it's such a great practice to reflect. And it's a sign, it's a pointer in the direction of, this is where I have some growth to do. This is the things that you want. It's not about making it happen. It's about, how can I align myself more with these desires, with this outcome? What inside of me can I heal so that I can invite this in? It is such a beautiful reflection practice. We're going to shift into our supported butterfly pose. So grab your blanket and let's fold up the blanket or roll up the blanket nice and small, like as you want it to be tall. And we're going to place it behind our bolster so that we create this kind of decline with our bolster. And then we're going to grab both of our blocks. Oopsies. And bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees find the blocks. Find that support underneath the knees, and then allow yourself to lean back into that bolster. Once again, hands come down by your side. We're in this really nice open pose. And so we're starting to ask ourselves even deeper questions, right? Like, how am I getting in the way of what I truly want? And then taking it a step deeper, third level. What beliefs do I have that are out of alignment with my truest desires? So those beliefs can be broken down very simply. Maybe it's, I'm not worthy, I'm not lovable, I'm not capable. Let's get really raw and honest with ourselves and ask ourselves that question. How are my beliefs out of alignment with my deepest desires? I'll get vulnerable myself here. For me, wanting to attract a great relationship in my life, I know that I have the belief that I'm difficult to love. That was something that was created many, 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 many years ago. And it was created before the rational side of my brain had been developed. We all humans, we create our core belief system between the ages of 1 to 12. And from ages 1 to 8, the rational aspect of our mind has not developed. And so a lot of the core negative beliefs that we have created don't make any sense because that rational part of us hadn't been developed. And so for me, even though that is very deeply ingrained in me, it's not true. I know it's not true. But I also know that it's still there. So it has been really challenging to unravel that, to heal that, to release that. So just know that if your deep stuff, that misalignment, we all have it. And it's hard. It's hard to heal. But it doesn't mean it's not possible. So I invite you with this new energy, with this spring energy, really invite in the belief that you can heal and that you can align with your desires. That whatever it is that's holding you back, you can release. So let's breathe into that belief. Let's breathe into that space. The easiest way to do so is once you've identified what that belief is, I'm unlovable, take the opposite. And as you breathe in, I am lovable, just breathing that into the body. And then breathe out, and so it is. And breathe it in, I am worthy. And breathe it out, and so it is. Whatever that belief is for you, breathe it in and breathe it into existence. As we breathe it in, we're embodying that. And as we breathe it out, we're sending that out into our energy field, into our relationships, into the world around us. And so it is. Let's flip our palms, palm facing down. Slowly, gently press yourself up. Bring your knees together. And let's come to a seated position, facing forward. Press your palms together and tuck your chin to your chest. Take a moment to acknowledge any awareness that came to the surface of your heart, your mind, your body throughout today's practice. Maybe the answers didn't arrive. Know that you can always come back to this practice, come back to this class, and trust that that awareness will come through, that will blossom. If you truly want to understand yourself better, if you truly want to understand what is misaligned and what your belief systems are that are creating your experience, they will come to you as long as you create the space, the compassion, and the acceptance in order for them to come to the surface. This practice is always here for you. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like it, favorite it, save it, and share it if there's someone that you're thinking of that would really benefit from this class. Thank you for being here, for taking the time for you, and to welcome in this new energy of spring. The light, the love, the wisdom in me sees, honors, reflects, and encourages the light, the love, the wisdom in you. Namaste. Again, my name is Jill Enticknap, the lead trainer and founder of Yogi Institute, an online yoga school and studio. I hope to see you again on your mats very, very soon. And until then, may your light be your guide.